I want to give people a little bit more about who you are and how you got started in this. You know, we say that this show is about being a working musician, and you've checked a lot of boxes on what it takes to be a working musician, and one of those is as a songwriter. And you've clearly, you know, a huge part of your career has been Gary Burr, the songwriter, as opposed to Gary Burr, the person performing on stage, although you do that too. So tell us a little bit about how what was the evolution of that, and how did the songwriting get started? What was that like?
Well, the evolution, the songwriting is what really brought me into all the other things.
Ah, okay. All right.
Everyone that I've gotten to work with because I started out being a collaborator for writing with them. And then, you know, it went from there. Where it all started, it's very interesting. I went to Woodstock, the original Woodstock.
Okay.
And I was in Connecticut, like you. And
Yeah.
my dad was an electrician, and he had an electrical company. And I was kind of in line that I always thought, since I was failing very badly at school, I kind of resigned myself that I was going to end up, you know, my fallback was going to be I'll probably just end up working for my dad or running his business when he moves on.
Yeah, it's a very common thing. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
certainly in New England.
Yeah.
You graduate high school, you marry your high school sweetheart, you join your father's company, you eat a lot of cheese and sausage, and you die young. That's am I wrong? Isn't that Connecticut?
No, that's Connecticut. Yeah, which is, yes, where I grew up. Yeah, it's very, very much Connecticut. Yes.
So I went to Woodstock, and I'm sitting there, and it dawns on me very quickly that the guys down there on the stage were going to get a lot more girls than electricians. And I was with a guy that I didn't really know, but we started talking. And by the end of the weekend, it turned out he was a drummer. I was learning how to play guitar. So we went back after Woodstock, we went home, and I broke my leg playing soccer for high school. And I was in a body cast from my nipples down to my toes. And I'm flat on my back, but I worked on my guitar for months until I could get up and walk around. And we started the band, and we played Byrds and Beatles and Stones. And at some point, everybody in the band looked at me and said, all of the songs we played were all written by those band's guitar players. You're our guitar player. You're supposed to write our songs.
So this songwriting thing was not your idea.
No, it was a mantle that was put on me, kind of like, like a royal family or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was suddenly ordained that I was the guy that's supposed to write the songs. So I wrote a bunch of songs that were like ripping off Neil Young and the Beatles, and It was pretty awful. But I'll tell you what, man, that feeling when I taught it to the band and the band played a song that I wrote, it was an amazing feeling. And I just kept at it and got better at it. And I was still working for my dad, but now I kind of had an outlet.
Sure.
And I'd work during the day and crawl through people's attics and fiberglass. And at night I'd write a song. And then one day I wrote a song that I sent to somebody, and they loved it, and they knew somebody in Nashville, and they sent it on down to Nashville. And the next thing you know, the song is on the radio, and I made a bunch of dough, and I was able to, stop being an electrician